So as we leave Cape Town, we're actually a little bit further along here from the Cape. It's forecast for it to be quite windy, 20 to 30 knots, so it's going to be very bumpy for the first 2 days. And then we'll be coming down past here. We go through one of the world's nastiest ocean currents called the Agulhas Current. I think it's pretty much where most shipping in the world sinks. So not planning on that. And then we'll cross that as soon as we can, and then make our way up through the leg and through the doldrums, which is obviously quite a light air zone, and it's something that is relatively unknown. There's not much racing goes on in this part of the world, so we have some big decisions to make where we cross the doldrums, whether we cross them in the east or cross them in the west. So we'll have to work that out at the time. We have a pirate exclusion zone, which I'm not actually allowed to say exactly where it is at the moment. Volvo and the security agents that we use are keeping that pretty much under wraps, but essentially there's quite a big section of coastline that we can't go near, and it does come out quite a way. So we'll stay well to the east of that, well, relatively to the east of that, and then make our way up in through the Straits of Hormuz into Abu Dhabi, and up here we have exclusion zones for Iranian waters, and also traffic separation schemes because there's a lot of shipping. So there's a lot of little minefields along the way that are outside of just the normal weather, that we have to be really careful of. I've never been up through this part of the world, but it's always pretty high on my radar in terms of where to be careful, and that's a key point. And it'll be a lot of light air up in this zone at the end of the race.
Nico, can you explain to us why sometimes it appears, at least from us that are watching you from the tracker, that you don't seem to take the shortest route that we would expect to be the fastest route to get to your destination? Yeah,
well, we had a bit of that in leg one, where we had to take different roads. So this is about a 5,500 mile leg, and I expect us to do anything between, maybe around 7,000 miles. But what happens, you can imagine, you think the fastest way is just to come straight around and up to Abu Dhabi, shortest distance, which of course it would be. But here in the Southern Ocean, there's always low pressure systems, always moving left to right. And what happens, what our trick will be to come out of Cape Town and go down and get onto one of these low pressure systems, and we ride that probably, I would say, to around about here. And on that, then we'll take almost a sharp turn and then go north. The thing is, when we're doing this, we'll be doing about 20 to 25 knots of boat speed, whereas if we went straight up here, we'd be probably doing about 10, 11. So double the speed, a bit more distance, and it's also a lot more fun. But either way, it's the fastest way for us to get there. It's just because we can sail faster with the wind rather than going against the wind.
Is your expectation for leg 2 that the fleet will stay closer together this time on the same track?
Yeah, I think so. Because we don't know so much about the doldrums and about this area, I think we'll be staying close together. There is a chance the fleet may split here. Some boats will come down here and ride the Roaring 40s in the Southern Ocean, and maybe a couple will go try up there. And then what will happen is we'll do a doldrum crossing probably like that. These boats in the west, us in the east, and then probably narrow like that. So there could be some splits. We're still working with the weather team, and we just don't know that yet. But all we know for a fact it's going to be windy getting to the Cape, and there will be a pressure system to get hold of to move to the east.
Expected leg duration, how many days do you expect to be out on the water, and expected ETA into Abu Dhabi?
I think we're going to take about 28 days of food, which is it's probably one or 2 days extra of food, which should have us in around the 14th, 15th of December. it's really hard, you know. We got good forecasts for the next 10 days, which will push us close to the doldrums. But from there on, you know, we're going to be really working out how quick we can get from the doldrums up in the next 2 weeks. So at the moment, our best estimate is it's going to be light, very light up here. Obviously hot, you know, the doldrums, the temperature will be around 35 to 40 degrees daytime temperatures, but you know, the air conditioning's really good on board, so it shouldn't be a problem to anyone. And yeah, you know, it's it is quite a difficult, tricky leg, but I like that for us at the moment, because you know, it just means the teams that have had a lot of time, there's not too much known about this leg, so they actually can't have discovered too much more information than what we already have. So I think it'll be a fairly level playing field this next leg.
And just to wrap up, what's the last thing you're going to say to the crew before you set off on Wednesday? Yeah, you know, I think I'll say that it's a very long leg. There's going to be, you know, there'll be the usual highs and lows, but there's going to be a lot of opportunities here and here to make big gains. What we have to do, we have to survive in one piece to get to here. So, like I said, a very windy start, one of the more treacherous capes in the world in terms of weather and waves. So we've got to get through that, get across one of the worst currents in the world, and then kind of, you know, regroup and establish. So, you know, in order to finish first up here, we need to get out of here safely and in one piece, and have the boat fully working and fully raceable to get up through here fast.